I don't want to live a boring life. I want to live an exciting life. I want to travel the world, scuba dive, climb mountains, climb volcanoes, learn to bachata, sleep in the desert, swim in a waterfall. But I also love to stay at home, read, write, and create. Have coffee on a slow Sunday morning, and also enjoy a slow walk at the park. And that's okay. We aren't one-dimensional. Society has tricked you into believing that you're boring, and that's all a lie. Stick to the end of this video and I'm going to share my personal secret into why living a boring life is the key to your happiness. So I've been a digital nomad for the past 3 years. I traveled all the way from Colombia and South America all the way to Easter Island, Southeast Asia, all throughout Asia. And I have to say that on the outside, it looks amazing. I live a life where I'm constantly on the move. I'm constantly learning new things, new cultures, new people, new faces. And on the outside, it looks great, but it is all a lie. The reality is most of my days are boring. It sounds contrary to what you see on social media, what you see on the news, on everything that people share throughout their lives. But honestly, I live a life that is very routine, very structured. I'm working in the morning, I get a coffee, I'm doing a little bit more work, then I go maybe explore a little bit after a full day. And that is reality. But what's painted on social media, and I'm a product of that as well, is that I show just the highlights. And most of our lives is boring. And that is the reality that is distorted. But in reality, it is boring, and a lot of it is 95% of our lives. How do we define what's a boring life? What does boring mean to you? We have this image of a boring life as working a 9 to 5 job, getting to the gym if we're lucky, feeling generally tired at the end of the day, and not feeling like doing the chores and the dishes and all those things in order to prepare for the next day. And if we're lucky, we get to enjoy the weekend with some friends and maybe take a vacation once or twice a year, if at all. Contrast that with the exciting life. We have images of traveling a lot, of having a cool snazzy job title like entrepreneur, having creative director, and generally being able to do what we want, when we want, however long we want. And I don't think that's reality. I don't think that most people get to live a life like that. Even the people that we see that are quote unquote living the exciting life, it's penetrated by lots and lots of boring moments. And that's because the highlight reel of social media, of people distorting what reality is for most of us, is really just enjoying those simple moments. Those simple moments in our lives where no one is around us, we're all by ourselves, and we're just living our day-to-day life. And that's the reality for most of us. And I'd like to hear from you. What is your definition of an exciting life? Of what is a boring life? Let's redefine what is exciting and what is boring. It's just a label that society has placed upon you in order to put you in a box. To say that you're a boring person is not an accurate representation, because each and every single one of us are different. What you believe is exciting could be the most boring thing to me. And what's boring to me might be the most exciting thing for you. So in reality, when we talk about boring and exciting, it's totally irrelevant because everyone has their own personal definition. So I love to travel, but I also love to slow travel. I don't need to see all the sights. I don't need to go visit all the museums, all the churches, and all those things that you normally do when you're on vacation. Because personally, what's exciting to me is being able to be in the environment, in the culture, listening to the local conversations at the farmer's market, being able to have a small conversation with someone that I just met. And to me, that is what's fulfilling. But to others, it might be a night of going out to party, going out to meet a bunch of new people, or learning a new skill or a sport. And both is totally fine. It's a definition of defining what is exciting for you. So when I hear this question, I get a little bit nervous. And that is, what did you do this weekend? And maybe it's because I had bad memory. Or secondly, I feel pressure. I feel pressure to have an exciting answer because I'm working Monday through Friday, and the little time that I have on the weekend, I feel like as if a pressure from friends, societies, and it's just I have to make the most out of my weekend. I need to jam pack it with all those things so that I can have a cool story to tell. So I can tell my friends, hey, I learned Spanish in a weekend. I learned a new skill. I was brushing up on that personal project. But in reality, a lot of my weekends are boring. I'm going to the cafe and having a coffee and a little chat with a friend. I might just be going to explore the local park and just generally doing things to catch up in life. Whether that's just errands, washing my clothes, or having a conversation with my parents. And I don't know if it's the pressure of what I see on social media or that I see that friends are doing these cool things and that I'm pressured to follow suit. And one of the reasons why I've been trying to stay away from social media, to remove myself from that space, because it highlights just the best parts of all our lives and add it into this highlight reel that makes us feel as if we're less than ourselves, that we need to be doing more, that we need to be learning more, that we need to hustle more, that we need to be more. And it makes me feel as if that's just not a real representation of who I am and what I really want out of my life. It took me a lot of years to really know who I am, what I consider exciting, what I consider to be boring. And it's really such an evolution, because a lot of the times and a lot of the years that I spent, I was chasing other people's dreams. I was chasing what other people wanted for me. And it seemed like I had to put up this image or this personification of a cool and exciting life. And it wasn't me. It wasn't what I truly wanted. And until the point when I said to myself, I need to define what is happiness for myself. I need to come up with my own personal definition of what happiness and success is for me. And that was the turning point. I quickly realized that I was living a lie. I was living a lie that other people had placed upon me. And sometimes that's your parents. Other times it's your friends. And a lot of times it's what society is pushing onto you. And I started questioning it. I started saying to myself, hey, wait a minute. This is not what I really want, but I feel this pressure that is coming in from all sides, trying to push onto me a life that was quote unquote exciting, that on the outside looking in, that it was so cool, but I was feeling horrible. I was feeling as if I was trapped in this never-ending cycle that wasn't truly worn. And the key to my personal happiness is really coming from acceptance of who I am, of what I believe is exciting to myself, and not what is considered exciting or boring in the eyes of other people that really should have no say in what I want out of my life. And through that realization and acceptance of what and who I am and my own values, I came to find peace and happiness throughout my life. As always, thank you for watching. And if you got value out of this, please make sure to like and subscribe for more. And also drop a comment in the section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. How do you define what is an exciting life for you? And also make sure to check out this next video over here.